Real quick, man, part two of this banking scam fiasco that's going on right now. Biden gave a speech, and on top of that, uh, two more banks failed. Signature Bank and another bank. So you got a total of 3 banks now that have failed, that went belly up in a matter of 2 days. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so get this. Here's some good stuff. You know, you got to expose the government and all their lies. So here comes Biden. You know, he gave a speech today all over TikTok. How the banksters that ran this bank, they were lying to everybody. So in other words, they were covering up the financials. They were covering up what was going on. They were covering up how deeply in debt they were and all of these other things. Okay, so in other words, Biden said that him and Obama had laws in place back in 2008 that these banksters broke in order to cover up how bad off the bank was. So he lied to the depositors, he lied to the investors, they lied. Okay? But yet Biden said that they excuse me, I can't talk. The depositors are going to get their money back. You know how they're going to get their money back? Supposedly, the bank itself had some type of fund on the side that had $100 and something billion in it. So they're just going to use that money to pay off the depositors. Really? So in other words, the bank had $100 and something billion sitting in a box on the side somewhere that they could have just used to, you know, save the bank, but instead they let the bank go belly up. Does that make sense to anybody? No, that's total BS. What Biden's going to do is crank up the printing machines, and he's going to start counterfeiting some more billions of dollars to pay off all these depositors of these 3 banks, right? Which in reality, guys, that's against the law, because the law states that all these banks are only guaranteed $250,000 per depositor. So if you got your money in a bank and you put 10 million in, 5 million in, 1 million in, you already know by law that if that bank goes under for any reason, that you're not going to get your money back. Okay, but Biden says that because the bank lied to the depositors and the investors, therefore the depositors are going to get their money back, all of it, but the investors should have known better. They're not going to get their money back. Okay, you know who got the investors' money? The banksters. They gave themselves bonuses a couple months back, millions of dollars in bonuses, and they sold stock, you know, less than a year ago because they knew the bank was going to go belly up. So basically what they did was they took the investors' money and they sold the stock and they gave themselves big bonuses and they stole the investors' money. And Biden says that the investors should have known better. Okay. Basically, Biden said that the bankers lied to everybody. They lied to the investors, but the investors should have known better. Okay, you know, these banks and all these corporations are supposed to report quarterly the financial positions of the industry, of the bank or whatever corporation it is. They're supposed to report how the companies are doing, how much money they're making, how much money they lost, you know, how much cash they have on hand, things of that nature, so that investors can make decisions on if they want to invest in the company or not. You know, once that information is available and the company goes bankrupt for whatever reason, then the investors, you know, they're going to lose their money, or the depositors are going to lose their money. So in other words, that's how it's supposed to go. But again, Biden said this bank was sweeping everything under the rug and they lied to everybody, but yet the investors should have known better. So they're not going to get their money back. Basically what it is called the golden parachute. The banksters walked away. They robbed the investors. They took millions and millions and millions of dollars from the investors, and it's called the golden parachute. A lot of companies do it. They go bankrupt. They have no money. They ran the company into the ground, but yet somehow the CEOs and all the upper, you know, the vice president, the general manager and all these guys, they walk away with hundreds of millions of dollars because they signed a contract. You know, so somehow they walk away with the investors' money, and they just steal from the investors is what they do. Rightfully, the investors should be the ones getting that money back. but these CEOs and these banksters, these fraudsters, they walk away with that cash. And that's exactly what happened now. Biden, you know, the government and the banksters, they're all in bed together. So they're going to protect each other. You know, Bernie Madoff, he went to prison for life for, you know, stealing $50 billion. These guys got away with $158 billion, and they're walking away off into the sunset with hundreds of millions of dollars in their pocket. Okay? Biden said they're going to get fired. They're not going to jail. They're going to get fired. If they do go to jail, you know, then it would end up like a Jeffrey Epstein thing. You know, Jeffrey Epstein and the government were raping all these little kids and molesting all these kids. And then Jeffrey Epstein had a little black book and he was going to expose everybody. So they took care of him. Okay, now if the banksters end up, you know, going to jail and they start talking about what they and the government are up to together, you know, then maybe there's going to be a bunch of dead bankers. You know, who knows? But that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. Once again, they're protecting the bankers. They're stealing millions of dollars up from the investors. Biden admitted they're all liars. They lied about everything, swept it underneath the rug, lied about the financials, lied about the health of the company, the banks. But yet they're walking away. They're going to retire on some island with hundreds of millions of dollars of investor cash, believe it or not. Let's see what else. That's about it, guys. I think I'm running out of time here, but pretty shitty, ain't it? Peace out. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.